Good morning. Let's have a little occult chat, shall we? Let's have a little chat, shall we? Little occult chat. This is your host, The Occult View. And as you know, everything is the occult and everything is spirituality, even if you don't recognize it. But let's have a little chat, shall we? A little occult chats. I was thinking about something as I rise in the bewitching hour or the bewitching hours. And I was thinking about something. Men ain't shit. Men ain't shit. It seems like the more and more you love them, the more and more that you do for them to show your love for them, the more and more they despise you. You cook for them, you encourage them, you are a support system for them. And what do you get in return? They abandon you, right? They abandon you in your times of need, but they always expect you to be there for them, right? But isn't that how the world is operating right now? You try to be there for people, you try to be good to people, and what do? They will either do one or two or three or more things. In my case, they will passive aggressively turn on you. They will laugh and grin in your face. They will eat your food. All the while, they will be deceptive, disrespectful, and disgusting behind your back in each and every way. There's a reason that I am up at the bewitching hour. You know what I mean? See, I'm beginning to understand a lot of things on a lot of different levels about the male species. And I know what you all are thinking. Well, you're a man. Yeah, I am, but I'm a gay man. I'm a gay man. And I'm a little bit more sensitive to spirit than your average man. You feel what I'm saying? I may be a gay man, but I am marked and blessed by the great divine mother. And what I have learned about a lot of men is that they hate the great divine mother. They hate her. That is why they've done everything they possibly can to remove her from history or any mention of the great divine mother. Anyone who embodies those qualities of the great divine mother, whether it be a man who has respect for the divine, such as myself, the feminine divine, the divine feminine, such as myself, or whether it be the actual divine manifestation of that great mother within the black woman, or any women per se, but mainly the black woman. Anyone who manifests that physically as a biological female, they hate them as well. And what do they try to do? They try to destroy you. They try to gaslight you. Sometimes all while laying up in the bed with you, while having intimate moments with you, while eating your food, while suckling on you. But the entire time, these types of men are sent to destroy you like cyborgs. Just like in The Terminator, when you really peel back the layers of the movie The Terminator, Arnold Schwarzenegger, he was sent to kill the Linda Hamilton character whose name I can't think of. He was sent to kill her. And that is how a lot of these men are. They are sent to destroy. They are sent to cause havoc in your life. Doesn't matter if they're sleeping with you. It doesn't matter if they're telling you what we think we want to hear. Doesn't matter. You treat them good. You make sure that they feel supported. And in return, what do? They cheat. They lie. They cheat with other women. They cheat with other men. They sacrifice themselves for BS and then bring those frequencies back to you. Black men do this a lot. But we're supposed to support them and love them and give them encouragement. And in return, they want to poison our well where we dwell. And I'm not speaking of me verbatim. I'm speaking in the spirit right now. I'm speaking in the spirit. I'm not talking about my human edifice per se. I'm speaking in a broader frequency, if you can hear what I'm saying. We're supposed to treat them within a certain regard so they can come back as a rattlesnake and bite us, or play in our face and pretend like that they're cool with us when they're really not. This is what black men do. This is the game they've been playing for a long time. They're right. They have been playing chess. And some of us have been playing checkers because we are not manipulative, psychotic, sociopathic people. These men are sociopaths. They're psychopaths. For a person to sleep with a person, eat a person's food and cooking, laugh and grin up in that person's face, but really have an entire issue with that person, for you to be the recipient of that person's support. Everything is not about money. When I say support, I mean giving energy. To be the recipient of someone giving you energy and giving you support. But then in the back of your mind, you really hate that person. You hate the fact that that person loves you because these men, they're not capable of love. They don't come from a loving place. And from that unloving place that they came from is where they shall return. But that's another story. I heard a sister talking last night in a video I was watching. She was talking some real shit, even if some of it made me feel uncomfortable. Sometimes you gotta feel uncomfortable in order to receive the message that's really being said. And she was talking about how men have destroyed this world, how the patriarchal, systemic, oppressive system has destroyed this world. It has destroyed women on so many levels. It has also destroyed men such as myself who are against the patriarchal system. I'm anti-patriarchal. Patriarchy is the brother or the sibling, I'm going to just say the sibling of racism. The two are intertwined. And no, they're not divine. They move into your house. They move into your lives. Or they move into your life to suck the life force out of you. But we're supposed to constantly sit back and just let this happen, right? We're not supposed to have any self-value or any self-worth, right? I'm talking about as beings that come from the great mother, the great divine mother. Whereas the other ones, they are archons, and they come from that entity, Yahweh. See, all of us don't come from the same place. They want all of us to think that we're all the same. No, we're not. All of us don't come from the same place. Some of us come from realms of light, and there are those of us who come from realms of havoc and darkness. Not not chaos, magic in terms of darkness, not wisdom in terms of dark divine wisdom, but havoc, darkness that is defined by havoc, not wisdom. We come from a secret realm of light, and we have just forgotten who we are as divine beings. Divine is feminine, it is not masculine. There's no such thing as divine masculine energy. I said it. There is masculine energy, but there's nothing divine about it. It has been corrupted. Maybe at one time it was divine, but it has been corrupted now. It has lost its divinity. And then you wonder why so many men, and I talked about this a long time ago when I did the lecture on androgyny over there with Brother Panic and them. I talked about this. You wonder why so many people are now embracing. Let's look at it from a spiritual standpoint, not from an agenda based standpoint, but a spiritual standpoint, a spiritual perspective. And I said this a long time ago. Feminine energy has been suppressed on the earth for so long. And feminine energy is more aggressive. And when I say aggressive, I don't mean in human terms. I mean in terms of being able to override the current agendas. You want to know why so many people are coming out as gay and transgender now? Because that is the rise of the divine feminine energy. That is the divine feminine energy saying, hold up. You don't get the final say. I am the Alpha. I am the Omega. I am the beginning. I am the end. And that is nothing but truth. The woman was first, and the woman will be last. And that is nothing but truth. That is nothing but truth. And they don't like that. That is why they have worked so hard to remove any historical text that deals with the divine feminine energy. That is why they vilified Lilith. That's why. Because Lilith was telling the truth that no woman should have to submit to any inferior species called a man. I'm having an epiphany within the spirit. That's just like that story about that black woman who went out on a date with a guy and she didn't want to go to Cheesecake Factory. She wanted to go somewhere else. There are a lot of other elements to the story, but let's just stick to this. She felt like she deserved a restaurant better than the Cheesecake Factory. Well, here's the thing. Black women have always historically been used to, the finer things in life. That's part of having self-worth. But they don't want black women to have self-worth. Now, do they? They don't want you to have self-worth. They don't want you to think highly of yourself. So what do? They put you on a panel with two men, like they did this same young woman, the Cheesecake Factory viral story. They put her on a panel with the man that she was going out on a date with, and another man who happens to be black. The man she was going out on a date with, he looked to be Middle Eastern or something like that, or East Indian, something like that. They put her on there to ostracize her and to bring her down a notch, as if to say, you don't deserve to have choices. You deserve to get whatever we give you. You don't get choices. And she actually came on there to rectify and to apologize for her actions, which me personally, she may have been acting a little obnoxious, but personally, I don't think she owed him an apology. She didn't do anything. Why is it that when women require the best, they get attacked or they get labeled to be difficult? Men can require and have all of these requirements for women. You have to have a flat stomach, perky titties. You got to look like this. You got to be this complexion. You got to have this type. Your feet have to look like this, and you have to look like that. You have to make this a certain amount of money. They can have all of these requests, right? And then you look over there at them. They got beer bellies. They're drunks. Their feet are ashy and dirty. Their toenails are yellow. Their teeth are yellow. Their breath are halitosis. Smells like halitosis. But yet they get to have all of these demands for women. And it doesn't matter what your race is. You got to be this size. You can't look like this. You can't look like a grown woman. You have to look like a young girl. And for them, they don't want you to look like a grown woman. They want you to look like a young girl or a young boy for that matter, right? That's the only way they can get their flaccid members up. But we're supposed to sit back and take this. So because that young woman, because she said, listen, I'm not a cheesecake factory girl. I deserve better. Because she said that, she got a lot of backlash for it. But the bigger picture is not about the Cheesecake Factory. The bigger picture is, why is it wrong for someone to want better choices or to want better? Why is that wrong for a black woman to want better? Black men want better all the time, and nobody ostracizes them. Nobody ostracizes them. Nobody ostracizes them when they're online talking about they want Harley Quinn, a freaking character who was a horrible person, who committed all types of horrible crimes, but that's the type of women that these men want now. They want cartoon characters and animated people. They don't want real women, right? It's the same thing with gay men. A lot of gay men have fallen for the okie doke. And the only representation of gay men that they want to see are overly flamboyant, no class having gay men like that Bobby Light who's on that show, that new show with New York and Omarosa, House of Villains. That is the type of gays that they accept. It's the same concept. They want They want the most hurt people. That is what they want, right? Because the more hurt you are, the more that they can control you. The more you can be controlled. They don't want someone who is genuinely a loving person. They don't want that because true, genuine love, it really sickens a lot of these types of people. Like I was saying earlier, you can love them, you can cook for them, you can do whatever. But that sickens them because these people don't come from a place of love. They come from a place of abject havoc and darkness. That is where they come from. So love sickens them. So no matter what you do, it's not good enough for them. They're going to hate and despise you no matter what. Because they want agenda-based people like Bobby Light. That's what they want. They want hurt people like Bobby Light. You can look at Bobby Light and tell that he has been traumatized most of his life. You can tell. You can look at his eyes and tell. Orlando Brown made a very valid point. He said that a lot of the men, and maybe the women too, but he was talking about men. He was saying that that when you have certain types of sex, that it can open up portals inside of you basically and bring forth certain, let's just say, entities. I'm not going to say demonic. I'm going to say entities because there are monsters and then there are monster entities and there are demonic entities. And there is a difference between the two. I'm going to say monster entities. A lot of these men are monsters. They are monstrous entities. They are possessed by monstrous entities. A lot of times we think that they may be demonic, but they're not. Because at least if they were demonic, they would have a certain amount of knowledge and wisdom and light. And they lack that. They lack that. They are monstrous. These are monsters. These are monstrous people. And they don't know anything about love. They don't know anything about compassion or joy or decency or respect. They don't know anything about that. They don't know anything about having self-worth or value. They don't know anything about that. The only thing they know is how to destroy other people. That is what they know. How to slither their way into someone's life as a cyborg that they can try to destroy. That's what they know. And just like we know that their endeavors are futile because you can't destroy with that which you did not create. See, we are self-created beings having a human experience. They were created. They were created. See, people ain't ready for this type of teaching, are they? All black people are not the same. All black people are not divine. Just because you have melanin does not make you divine. It does not. especially if you're a fucking man, because they operate in the realm of carnality and materialism, and they do not cultivate the spirit, because a lot of them don't even have spirit. A lot of them are more of an essence type of energy that was created. Y'all ain't ready for this now. People ain't ready to hear this. So it's no wonder that the same way that they sit up and preach about how the white man is the devil and the white man is this and the white man is that. And I'm not saying that the white man is not any of those things. I'm not saying that the white man is innocent. But what I am saying is this: a lot of these black men who sit up and preach about the white man this and the white man that and white people this and white people that. But them very same people who are saying that about white people are in the same boat as they are. If the white man and the white people lack spirit and lack soul and all of these things that you all say, then a lot of you black men act just like them. So you lack it as well. I'm only going by behavioral patterns and spiritual patterns. That's what I do. I'm the occult view. You can't very well call out white people for for the things that they do when you do the exact same thing on a higher level. How about this? There's no such thing as a powerful white racist. How about this? How about we think it's white racist that are causing us problems, but how about this? It's probably a black man causing problems and putting them up to do it. How about that? We keep thinking that it's the white man. It's the white man. But what if it's other black people who are in, black men who are in positions of power who are doing this, who are doing the wicked things that we see in the world, but we only see a white face? Have we ever thought about that? Black men talk about homosexuality and how there's, an epidemic of homosexuality everywhere. Well, stop trying to suppress the divine feminine energy. Homosexuality is a mutation of the divine feminine energy saying, listen, I am going to get my point across universally, even if I have to create a mutation to do it. I'm going to show you who is really in charge, and it's none of you men. So I'm going to channel through you, and I'm going to touch some of you, and turn some of you into more feminine types of energy. Not to create an agenda, but to make a point. They talk about homosexuality, but they don't talk about what's really causing it. Oh, it's soy. Oh, it's the food. Oh, it's subliminal programming. Oh, it's post traumatic slavery because of what happened to people in slavery. It's all of these things, but what's right in front of your face? It's all of these other things, but you don't want to really look at it from a spiritual point. How about it's because you keep suppressing the divine feminine energy, and that energy is getting more aggressive, and it's going to keep channeling through whatever vessel it feels like it, because you know why? She can. She can. And she will. Each and every time. Now, let me say this as a disclaimer. I'm not talking to all brothers, of course. I'm not. But I'm definitely not sparing anybody's feelings. I know a man who told me when he and I got into an argument, I don't argue with other men. I normally only argue with women. So he was trying to imply that I'm more feminine, which I do have feminine traits. I do. I'm a gay guy and I embrace it. I embrace it even if other people reject it. I embrace everything about myself. He doesn't argue with men. He only argues with women. Now, I want you all to really listen to that. He don't argue with other men. Well, of course you don't argue with other men. Of course you don't. Why would you argue with people who are aligned in your dysfunctional thinking? You argue with women because women call you out on your BS. Women can see you for who you really are. And the argument comes in, like with me and this person, the argument comes in is because real eyes can see real lies. Let me say that again in another way. Real eyes can see and real lies, meaning realize who you really are. So, of course, you're not going to argue with other men. You don't argue with men because men are not going to call you out. You argue with women because women call you out. You argue with me because I have some feminine traits and feminine energy about myself, and I can see you for who you really are. That's why you argue with me. You can't hide behind weak, emasculated energy. People are always talking about, emasculating the black man and all that. You know who emasculates the black man? They say it's black women. And maybe some black women do that. But you know who emasculates black men the most? You know who emasculates black men the most? Other black men. You know why they emasculate? You know why I say that? I say that because they don't hold them accountable for the BS that they do. They never say, hey, listen, bro, that was wrong what you did. You need to be you need to accept responsibility for that. You always want black women to be accountable, but you don't want to be responsible for anything. You emasculate yourself by not standing up like a man and taking responsibility for the things you say and the things you do to people. Like pretending to be cool with a person when you really don't like them. See, I can't do that. If I don't like a person, or if I feel as though that a person is not for me, I'm not going to laugh and grin up in their face. I'm not going to move in their house. I'm not going to eat their food and laugh and grin up in their face. I'm not going to do that. But these men are so sociopathic and they are so disconnected from spirit and wisdom, they can do that. They will even marry a woman or marry another man and bring you into their house, all for an agenda. Because a lot of them are afraid to be alone. They talk all that crap, but a lot of them are afraid to be alone. They're afraid. This is why I promote fifth dimensional transitioning and transitioning into the fifth dimension, because you know one thing about the fifth dimension, a lot of y'all don't exist. A lot of y'all don't exist. A lot of masculine energy will not be allowed in the fifth dimension. That's a secret. That's a spiritual secret. Telling y'all, a lot of that toxicity, and that a lot of that will not be allowed in the fifth dimension. A lot of these wars are really fought and backed up by this dysfunctional masculine energy. That will not be allowed in the fifth dimensional realm. So therefore, a lot of you all will not progress. A lot of these men will not progress into the fifth dimensional realm. You know why they really hate gay men so much? You know why a lot of you all really hate gay men so much? You hate us because you see our spiritual potential. That is why you hate us. That is why you really hate us. See, when I was over there in the conscious community, they only liked me to a degree. And I understand. Now I get it. I get it now. And that's okay. I'm not worried about nobody liking me. I don't care anything about that. But what you cannot do is strip me of my divinity. You cannot strip me of my divinity. You can never do that. Can't no man strip me of my divinity, including this motherfucker that lived with me. You can never strip me of my divinity, especially when you don't have any of your own. There is no divine masculine. You lost it a long time ago. When you went against the divine feminine, you canceled yourself out. Because where do you think divine masculine energy came from? It came from feminine energy. And then you wonder why there's so many gay people now? You wonder why there's so much homosexuality? You wonder why there's so many feminine men? Because that's the feminine energy, in a sense. I'm going to say this in a sense. Let me get my words together. That is the feminine energy saying to you, bitch, you are not in control, not even of yourself. I run this shit. And I'm going to come through whatever vessel I can to make my motherfucking point. When are you all going to wake up and see it? No, they're jealous of gay men because they know we have higher spiritual potential than they do. Just like this motherfucker that lives with me. This motherfucker is jealous of me. I got a motherfucker in my house that is jealous of me. And then he wonders why his life is falling apart. He wonders why. It ain't over yet. I ain't bragging, I'm just observing. How you gonna be jealous of the person that is really your salvation? A 55, 56-year-old man is jealous of me. Somebody we're supposed to be friends. We're supposed to be cool, right? He ain't here right now, so I can talk. We're supposed to be friends. We're supposed to be cool, but you keep playing up in my motherfucking face like we're cool, but you know you got a whole fucking problem with me. And now, motherfucker, I got a whole fucking problem with you. And then you wonder why you're having the string of bad luck and misfortune that you're having, you ain't seen nothing yet. You ain't seen nothing yet. By the way, he was the one that said he doesn't argue with women. I'm sorry, he doesn't argue with men. He only argues with women. That's what he said to me one time we had an argument. We didn't have no argument recently, but he did something recently that I don't want to get into that has shown me once again who he really is. And the question my dumb ass needs to ask myself, why do I keep supplementing this bitch motherfucker? Why do I keep supplementing this bitch motherfucker? The buck stops here. It stops here. But I'm going to play it. I'm going to play chess. I'm not going to play checkers because I got a plan for him. I got a plan for him. He just don't know it. See, I'm a sneaky, conniving, vindictive Virgo on the cusp with Leo. He's a Leo. And see, Leos always underestimate Virgos. But motherfucker, I'm kind of in your same pool of thinking. And by me having the analytical Virgo on my side, too, I can outthink you. See, he don't know I feel this way, and I'm going to keep it that way. For a reason, for spiritual reasons. He is a prime example of a person who has no divine masculine energy. Christopher Barry had divine masculine energy. He was one of the because he understood me. He understood my energy being a man who had feminine attributes. He understood that. And Christopher knew how to deal with my emotions. This bitch motherfucker does not. Because in actuality, he's more bitch made than he thinks than he thinks gay men are. He's more bitch made. I'm more man than he is. No, he doesn't argue with men. He doesn't argue with men because he prefers more masculine men. That's what he prefers. Now, even though he doesn't think that I know it, he prefers more masculine men. That's why he acts the way that he acts. He used to mess with women. And each one of those relationships he was in, they failed. This was before me. They failed. Because he really wanted to be with men. And instead of a lot of these black men just being honest and saying, I am gay and I like men, instead of them doing that, they do shit like this. They do passive aggressive shit like he does. Act funny. Act weird. Acting like they all in their emotions for no reason. Coming in the house with a fucking attitude or staying out the entire weekend when you're supposed to be here with your partner. And you think I'm going to keep putting up with that motherfucking shit? You think I'm going to keep putting up with that motherfucking shit, nigga? You think I'm going to keep putting up with that? From some old ass motherfucking nigga 56 years old? With a flaccid fucking dick? And you're not even that fucking good looking? You think I'm going to keep putting up with that? And trust and believe, yes, I do got lovers on the motherfucking side, child. Yes, I do. You think I don't? I told you I'm a vindictive Virgo. I don't play that. When one don't do, I'll find me somebody else. But this isn't about that. This is about the disrespect of the divine feminine energy. And then a lot of these men wonder why their lives are in turmoil like this one here. You wonder why your cars keep breaking down. More gonna break down than that. Wait until your bodies start breaking down. Your mind starts breaking down. Then who you gonna call then? Who you gonna run to then? Hmm? I want people to know what's going on in the universe. Because see, I'm not a fake person. If something is going on in my life, if something is going on in my life, as an occultist, and as a spiritualist, it is my duty to let my audience know that. So I can be an example and you all can learn maybe what not to do, something that I did wrong. Maybe you won't go down that trajectory. Number one, don't ever let no man move in with you. I made the biggest mistake of my life by letting this viper move into my apartment. Don't ever let a black man move in with you unless you really, 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 really understand who he is. And I really thought that I understood who this person was. We've known each other since 2009, or rather, we've been associated since 2009. I thought when he moved in with me in 2021, I thought our relationship was growing. But in actuality, now that I look at things in retrospect, we were growing apart. And we've been growing apart. I'm not saying that I'm perfect, but there's a reason for my emotions. He has no respect for feminine energy whatsoever. Whatsoever. He runs the streets with a bunch of men all the time. And then he wonders why. He wonders why he's always so drained. He always so tired. His back is always hurting him. All of these problems that you're always having. I know plenty of people in their 50s and they don't have the problems that he has. But the person who's really a friend to you, me, I'm the one that you act distant towards, you act funny towards. I'm the one you act that way towards, right? And you living in my motherfucking house, right? He doesn't even know a lot of the things I had planned. I was going to move into when I get ready to move into a house, I was going to put his name on my house and it would have been both of our houses. He doesn't even know he's talked himself out of his own blessing. He could have got some money, but we got into an argument some months back. He could have got about $2,500, a stimulus. He could have got it on the recognizance of me, but he ran his mouth. We got into an argument and he didn't get the fucking money. He didn't get it. And you know what? That was spirit showing me this motherfucker don't deserve anything from you. He don't deserve anything from you. He don't deserve it. That is why he sits up and talks about, witchcraft and demons and all that stuff. But the demon that you worship, Yahweh or Jehovah, what is he doing for you? Let me tell you what he's doing for him. His mother has cancer. He is broke. He ain't hardly got no money. The job that he's working at UPS, that shit is kicking his motherfucking ass. Car broke down. He's miserable. He's unhappy. His hair is falling out. But you're giving all praise to Jehovah. Whereas me, I do magic. My pockets stay full. I ain't sick. I'm 44 and look like I'm damn near 34. My refrigerator stays full. And young men 30 years old, will still find me desirable. So, bitch, I'm doing good. How you doing? How you doing? And I'm not bragging to anybody on here like that. That's for that bitch. That's for him. But you want to sit up and you want to judge people who do witchcraft and voodoo and whatever type of magic they may do. But your magic is not working for you. You have nothing but a bunch of turmoil in your life. Not to mention, one of your sons don't even speak to you because you're such a bitch. He will not be allowed in the fifth dimension. People like that, he will not be allowed in the fifth dimension. But there's so many men like this individual that I'm referring to. There's so many men like him. There's so many men like him. And that is why I did exactly what I had to do to him. See, this is why you got to do spiritual work on these motherfucking niggas. You got to do that work on them. You got to do it. You got to subdue that demon. And one of the reasons that we don't have a lot of problems in the household like that is because I had to do work on him. He don't know it, but I do. I did some on him tonight. I sure did. But he is an example of a man who has no respect for feminine energy. He had no respect for the women that he was in relationships with. He cheated on all of them. He disrespected all of them. He was dating a Trinidadian woman and she stabbed him. She stabbed him. Now, the story he gave me, she just had a bad temper. No, no, no. You probably gaslit that woman. You probably did shit to that woman. That woman probably was good to you like I was good to you. And you probably drove that woman because you know a lot of these sociopathic types of black men, they will purposely try to drive you to physically harm them because they are monstrous. That's a monstrous person. That is a monstrous act. That is a sociopathic, psychopathic act to try to gaslight and emotionally abuse a person to the point that they would actually put their hands on you or try to use an object on you. And if I knew that Trinidadian woman, I would have told her the problem that you're having with him is that he likes dildos up his butt, which he does, because I've stuck plenty of them up there for him. He likes dildos and fingers up his butt. That's what he likes. From men. From men. That is why he acts the way that he does. And now, because he does not like my feminine energy, he doesn't like it. He liked it at one time, but he doesn't like it. He doesn't like it anymore. I guess he just wants, more unbalanced masculine energy like his. So that's what he wants. There's no divinity in that. You don't get any wisdom from that. There are very few black men or men in general who have divine masculine energy. Very few. Talking about homosexuality and how bad it is does not make you a divine masculine man. What makes you a divine masculine man is taking responsibility for yourself. And stop blaming other people for your failures. You blame your baby mamas. You blame gay men. You blame your kids. You blame the white man. You blame this person. You blame that person. You blame black women. You blame that person. No, it's you. It's you. You've become a victim of your own humanity. And in the process of becoming a victim of your own humanity, you've developed a hatred for feminine energy because feminine energy can see you. So what do they try to do? They try to shut you down and say you're crazy, something's wrong with you, you're an angry black woman, you're bitter, or you're an angry woman if you're not black, or you're bitter, you're hateful, you're all of these different things, but they're out there cheating, catching STDs, spreading STDs, spreading spiritual disease, and then they come back online as somebody like Nature Boy, right? Anyway, this is the occult view. I just said what I had to say. I had to get that off my chest, child, and now I'm done. Thank you for listening.